exercise sports science, and I did everything right. I went to college. I got student loan debt. I, took the personal training courses. I can teach everything in group fitness. And I said, I want to run a college university gym. If you've been to college, then maybe you used your rec center at a time. That is what I ran. I wanted to run the fitness department. That was what I wanted to do. Organize events, basically run in-person challenge groups, right? I was gearing myself up for that. And so at 24, I was in my last semester of college making no money because I was part of a program where you work all day, go to class all night. And I was making $1,100 a month, and 600 of that went to rent. So I was so broke. And then this opportunity fell into my lap. And I am definitely an outgoing, extroverted person. So, just beware, it's coming out, you'll see. And so when I was brought the opportunity back in 2015, no one was doing this. Instagram, people were still putting the like black boxes around their picture. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't know what it was. Snapchat was just starting, but it was about being ugly and silly and funny, right? Like, no one was trying to be cute with hearts on their face. So no social media, but I knew I could do this because of fitness. And so I started off, but basically my first year and a half was just like fun. I hit the ground running, hitting SC5, SC10 easy, just being like, I love this. I got so toned. I was always in shape, endurance wise, but I ate terribly and didn't drank a lot. So I was never toned. And so this program and the container, Shakeology, changed my life. And people saw that. So I was just like, oh my God, I'm running boot camps. I love this. I never really understood elite, premier, rank. I was just like, this is so much fun. I love it. I'm helping people. And then my job sucked. Like, essentially, I became fitness director, my dream job, but I found out men were making, in the same position as me, my coworkers were making $12,000 more a year than me. And I was like, okay. When I tried to stir the pot, they were like, you should be thankful, because I was 25 at the time. And they were like, you should be thankful. This is a lot of money for you. And I was like, okay, yeah, $52K a year for 25 years old is great, but he's over here making 64. I'm sorry, I want that. They didn't like that. Then my mom got diagnosed with cancer. And that is what drove me to understand and actually do training and listen more of the business type national wake up calls, because I was told I couldn't go see her when she needed a hysterectomy to get her tumors out. And I was like, well, I'm already going. I mean, I know I'm asking permission, but the ticket's bought, it's done. And so they said, you will have to take leave without pay. Luckily, I didn't understand ranks, and I would love for you guys in the chat to put what rank you are right now, just so I can gauge where you guys are at. I didn't know ranks, but I became Emerald within 6 hours of signing up, because my coach said that's what you do. And I was like, okay, I don't know what the fuck that is. But I signed up my mom and I signed up my best friend. Again, I'm a very extroverted type of personality, and I was already in fitness industry, but my mom believed in me, and I basically Shark Tanked my mom. I was just like, you need to invest in this, and you're going to make a lot of money, because they said, if your spouse or your parent signs up, it's double dipping and they can make money. And I was like, Mom, you're going to make money. This is exciting. She's like, okay, Jen. And then I got to Diamond, not because I was in a Diamond push, not because I was going to get cash. I got nothing for hitting Diamond. All I did was Beachbody sent me a tank top, and I was just told, get to Diamond. So I was like, okay. And naturally for me, I wanted to tell people about this business and the products. I love Shakeology because, again, back in 2015, 2016, we were posting pictures like this. Yes. So I was obsessed with Shakeology, and everyone knew it. Like, selfie. We were also posting, y'all have it so good. We were posting 5 times a day, okay? I literally would sit there and be like, I've got to go do something fun. I've got to go somewhere. I've got to like have something happen in my life so I can talk about it. It's so different, and that's what makes this business so exciting is things change all the time. But you know what doesn't change is your belief in what we do. Because you, as a coach, okay, so let me look at your ranks. So lots of emeralds, 3-star diamond, lots of emeralds. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Are you adding? Oh, I'm an 8-wing 7. I'm an 8-wing 7. Yeah. So essentially, our belief doesn't change, and so that is what I want you guys to get out of this is that you are in, like, Paige obviously knows what she's doing. She's been doing this, and she hops on these leader calls. She's getting training for you guys. And sometimes as leaders, we just want to get you guys to the next rank and help you so much. And we have a tendency to overtrain or over like push on stuff, and we forget truly the core of what we do. And I personally have to remind myself every month. Like, you can get stuck at the start of the month and be like, oh my God, am I going to hit Success Club? I don't know. But my superpower is that I like don't even worry. And I don't know if it's just because like I have a big ego or I'm just like so excited, but I feel like it's one of these things where I just know it's going to happen. Like, I know I'm going to help so many people, because I have shown to myself, I've proved to myself, I didn't take any breaks. Once the wheels get started, just keep going. No matter what is going on. When my mom was diagnosed with cancer, like, lean into what we do always. Like, we were on the call that we were on, and where I got fired up was people were saying, because of what's going on right now, and my heart feels for so many people. And if you have been personally affected, or extended family or people close to you, again, like, I'm so sorry, but I got on this call, and I was like, this is the best thing that ever happened to our business, like ever happened to my life in the last 5 years. Because yes, like what Carl and what all corporate has saying, like, we don't want to take advantage of people right now. And don't think that I'm saying it in that way. What I'm saying is that people who used to give me like, is it even good? I don't know if I even want like at-home workouts, really. Like, that's all you do. They're now open to trying a sample workout. I've sent out so many free trials than I ever have because people are willing to. Like, I haven't changed my invite strategy. I haven't changed my boot camps at all. People are just finally saying, yeah, I'll take a sample. Sure, I'll try the 2-week free trial. I always lead with that because I want people to believe. And since I started kind of young and I didn't have the money at all, my coach, actually, she became a coach about 2 months before me. We were coworkers. And she was like, I was like, I don't know. I don't understand what it is that you're doing. I don't get it. Again, I was young and partying a lot. And so she had me do the workouts with her for a month. Just with her. She never tried to push, like, you've got to sign up. And one was like, oh, I don't know. She wasn't like, okay, bye. I see so many coaches do that. Someone gives you resistance at all, it's because most likely they just don't get it. And they think they're going to get scammed, or it's going to be some like the boogie monster is going to jump out at them. So you have to break it down. And I'll tell you, I used to word vomit on every person I used to talk to. I would send them a paragraph this long, like, hi, I'm a fitness coach and I'm doing 21-day fix. Here's an info video. And if you like this info video, here's the pricing. And I run boot camp. Oh my God, it was terrible. And so what I've learned now is that you've got to start with your heart. Like, don't get me wrong, I love sales. I realized that I was meant for sales. But I love transactions, but I don't lead with that. I hit over SC 20, 30, whatever, not because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna hit sales. It's because I'm like, there are so many people in the world I can help. Let's get to work. let me help all of you. I want to help all the people. Okay. So I'm going to give you a few little things here for building momentum for everlasting success. I love to leave little nuggets when I talk to coaches. And then, of course, ask me questions. And then I'll also lead you into kind of setting yourself up to whatever rut you may or have been in last month. This, again, it's a crazy time. I'm going to help you get out. After this call, you're going to be lifted out of that, and we're going to push forward. Okay. So the biggest thing is, I always have this timeline. I have it written on my notebook, is your attitude. It starts with your attitude, 1000%. And I was in a funk when everything went down. I was in this funk. I reached out to my team. I go, y'all, I feel icky. Like, this is so hard, because we're resistant to change. As human beings, we suck. We are not a go with the flow type of species. You know what I mean? So I really needed a mind reset. And how you're going to do that is I had to redo my routine a little bit. And so when you sit down to work, you should never be like, oh God, I haven't even invited. Oh, right? Like, that's not going to help anybody. So set up a routine, put on some music. If you're not in a message pod or a message thread with other coaches, get in one where you can be like, get some high vibes in there. I always like to listen to a little bit of music. I like to, change my clothes or something, like just doing something, like whether you pour a thing of hydrate, I do that a lot, thing of water, like, change where you're sitting. Don't try and work out and then lay on the floor and invite from there, right? You want to really get in this space of creativity and helping people. So it starts with your attitude. Your attitude then becomes your thoughts. So then when you are dancing around and you're just like, I'm going to help all these people and feeling good, then your thoughts are like, oh my gosh, I really am going to help all these people. Like, this is going to be great. Like, who can I help today? Become your thoughts. This then becomes a routine that is unbreakable. It's something that you just get into this rhythm so that every day you can wake up and be like, I am going to help so many people, and get going. Okay. Which then that routine turns into action. And we know that this business is action based, 1000%, whether it's in inviting, in your challenge groups, whatever it is, you have to take action. You can't just sit there and be like, wow, no one's messaged me today. Like, no one wants to join my group, The top coaches are still inviting people. Whether you are a month in, 5 years in, I sit down and talk to people, because that equals success, because I'm a human being, they're a human being, and we are in the business of serving people, right? People don't buy into the what. What I have learned my last 5 years is they're not buying the what. And if you have this focus on, oh, I got to sell a challenge pack, I got to sell Shakeology, right? I mean, we have so many products. Again, when I started, it was just Shakeology and like just 21 Day Fix is what I sold for like 3 years, honestly, because that was just it. Anyway, it is, I want to change this person. Like, people buy the why. They buy who. They buy you, and they buy your community that you are selling. So if you don't have that, then it is going to be really hard, because the people that you're trying to sell this fitness challenge pack, Shakeology, they'll lose interest, and then they'll go sign up with someone else, or go, when someone comes out with Herbalife, they'll go sign up and buy Herbalife, because it's not the what. Right? That's why when people buy like random like shakes and stuff, I'm like, why do you even get that? Like, I don't get it. And they're like, yeah, this girl I saw on Instagram. I'm like, oh, you like her. That's why. You know what I'm saying? I do it too. There's bloggers where I'm like, I don't even know why I bought this, but like, I like you. So that's why I'm wearing this lipstick right now. She had it. I am wearing it because I like her. And then I doubled it with this, because when she did her tutorial, she said, you got to put this on first and then you dab with this. And I literally do that because she says so. So people buy you, okay? So 2 biggest things. And like, again, there's so many trainings out there, and like what to say, blah, blah, and how you should post. But if you don't have these 2 core things, the rest doesn't matter. You can sit there and message Sally, Becca, all day, but It won't matter because your core is not there. So, number one, you must inspire, not just motivate. So, what I mean by that is that you have to breathe a confidence. And I have notes, that's why I'm looking down. Breathe a confidence and an energy that they can connect with, right? It's not enough to just post a workout selfie in the mirror, like, check, workout done, day 2. Like, okay. You're just gonna motivate people to be like, damn, Sarah's working out, I gotta work out. Shoot. Okay, done. I gotta work out too. It won't inspire them to reach out to you, right? It's truly modeling this community that it breeds FOMO, that people just can't help it. And so showing your workout clips, showing you what you eat when you go grocery shopping, showing a little bit more in depth than just, oh, I got my workout done. But what you really mean as like what is provided when you come into me. And so then we get into number 2, right? So these stack. So you start with lead with trying to inspire people. And then number 2 is you need to praise, not just promote. So one of the things that I absolutely hate, hate is a strong word, but dislike when I see, or it's more just like, I want to be like, no, don't do this, is when coaches throw up, like, I know there's so many cool apps, like video apps, like InShot and really, really cool that makes it like very professional, like promoting a boot camp, right? Like video and all of that. And I think that works for some people for sure, but they're also doing other things. You can't just throw up as a desperation text of like, boot camp starts next week, 2 spots left. I'm opening 5 spots. And it's like, I didn't, what? Like, what are you even doing? Like, what is that? You know what I mean? And so you have to, ways that you can show praise and all of that. Again, it's your community. So not just showing, anytime someone promotes a boot camp, I feel called out. It's not just throwing up transformations. Like anyone can get transformations anywhere. Like, okay, yeah, especially stock photos are like, okay, so 2013, okay, that's so old. What you have to do is praise people on their effort, right? Because you've got to call out and recognize, like we know recognition is a big thing. You've got to show people who show up on your Zooms, right? That don't just have the end result. Because if I was watching, I want to see the in between. That's what I'm always like on Transformation. I'm like, well, what happened in between? What about day like 7? No, I'm just kidding. But showing people show up, right? Praising, like I'll do like a video scroll of my challenge tracker app. And I teach my coaches to do that, of just people showing up that day, right? What's really cool with the tracker app, you can call out someone and see all those check marks and be like, shout out to Haley, knocked out 2 weeks of workouts, y'all. Homegirl's crushing the game, right? That is praise and inspiration to want me to join your community. Because that's not just saying, oh, because we're not in the business of just getting people abs, just getting people to lose weight or tone muscle, right? I mean, I truly feel like those are just byproducts of truly leaning into the community and everything that we offer, right? But it's not a guarantee, because we know if you just do the workouts but your nutrition sucks, nope. If you just do the nutrition and not work out, you will get results. Nutrition is the end all be all. But we know that if you don't have that accountability, your nutrition and your fitness, it's gonna lag unless you're a robot, right? Because you need someone to check up on you. So praise the effort, not just the end result. And also not just when people sign up, right? I do this. I'll if you check out my Instagram, not right now, right? But my name is hard to spell, so maybe take a picture. It's Jenevieve Struck, and I just did this on mine where I tag the people that sign up with me. They're real people. People don't have to share it, like, whatever. And so not just the calling them out, they signed up, but then having those same names pop up and things like that is going to be super, super important in feeling like it's good. Now, The biggest thing I get from coaches is like, wow, I'm losing engagement on like my challenge group. And so then I say to them, I go, well, what's your engagement, right? We have amazing tools that schedule stuff for us. Like, oh my God, again, back in 2015, I had to wake up at 5 a.m., have a sleep, and I would post for the day in my Facebook group and then go back to sleep for an hour, like crazy, because they didn't have scheduling posts on Facebook groups back then. But I love scheduling because then that means, because it used to be like, oh, I posted for the day, oh, I'm good. But since it's scheduled, that means I can live in it. This is now your group chat, right? I am checking my challenge tracker app like every like 3 times in the day. I'm going in there and I'm engaging and also posting other things other than just logging your workout in Shakeology, right? Because in this business, the heart of it is your challenge groups. That's where you are feeding your soul of this business. If you don't enjoy that, then I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to work out for you. And if right now you're not feeling it, it doesn't mean it's okay, I'm done. It just means you've got to reset and do something that's going to find you. There's a lot of templates now you can buy on Etsy. I do from this like VA that I've got in some group. Like, it's awesome because I don't think I can come up with other ways to talk about how to drink water. Like, I'm lost on the creativity. So that's nice. But I'm in there and I'm treating them like they're my sisters. Like, they're just like my homegirls, my crew. When people join me, I'm like, no, you're my Slay Babe. So I call my team, my challenge group, Slay Babe Gang. Whether you're building a business or you're showing up, working out, you're a Slay Babe. You're in this nook here and you're not going anywhere. And so we want to make sure that people are being celebrated all the way through. And so that would be my biggest 2 points. And so for April, wherever you're at right now, if you're at SC0, if you're at SC2, or if you're at SC20 right now, I want you to really work on those things where you can just be like, you know what, forget the numbers. If you just lead with who can I help today, tomorrow, and just show up and really love it, that energy is contagious. I truly believe how I've been successful every single month in getting new people is because I'm just so dang excited every single month that people can't help but to be like, oh my gosh, I want to be in that. And if someone says no to me, that all I hear when someone says no, all I hear is not right now. Like, they say one word, but I hear 3, because that just means, okay, I just didn't hit that button for you, but you know what? You're going to regret this. And so I am having so much fun praising my girls throughout the journey. And they're like, dang, I could have done that. Why didn't I do that? And then I reach out to them. If people ghost me every single time I invite them every month, but they are still following me and watching my story, I am sliding in those DMs. I don't care. I have no shame to my game, and either should you. There is no shame. If you don't want me messaging you, stop following me. Like, that's what I would do. If I was following someone and they were like, hey, oh my God, like, I'd be like, ooh, like, I'm not interested. My bad. But so they're watching, and then there's just in how you say it. And I don't call people out, but I'm just like, hey, I see you watching on my story. Like, I really would be honored for you to jump in this month. Like, what do you think? And so there's just different ways you say, but I call them out for watching my story. Like, hey, I saw you watched on my story that I've opened enrollment for April. Maybe now's a good time. Not sure. I'd love to at least just send you a sample workout. We have so many free tools. Even with Shakeology, I'll send a Shakeology sampler out to a bunch of people. If that's how I start, we get drilled into this Shakeology mindset. Challenge pack mindset, but it is okay for you to start them off. You're going to have a loyal customer if you don't push $200 down their throat, right? Some people, if they're ready to go all in, we know that's the better deal, 100%. But if I'm getting a price resistance, like, I just don't know. I'm like, hey, okay. Ideally, I would love for you to get started in the challenge pack for sure. You're going to save money long term, but how about we do this way? Let's get you started working out. I want you to start that 2-week free trial, and I want you to buy, because it's $0 today. So then I'll start people off with this Shakeology sampler, which is like $15 for that day. Then in 14 days, they pay $39. So when you break up a cost, it feels like a payment plan. And that's kind of how I present it to them. And so if you come in contact with me, you're not leaving empty handed, essentially. Whether it's a free workout, you're getting trial, you're getting sampler, you're getting energized samples, something, because we know these products help people. And so I want you guys to feel fired up for this month, because there are billions of people stuck at home. And the way that you're going to get people, because we know there's workouts everywhere, you've got to drill community, right? But you know what? Orange Theory is doing community. A lot of studios are doing community. Okay, that's not our smoking gun. What is our smoking gun that is going to get people is that we have programs, start to finish, results based. No other studio, not Peloton, not Orange Theory, not Pure Barre, they're not doing a start to finish series. So that is your smoking gun. So if you are not showing week 4 workout 18 out of 30 and talking about how it's progressed, or how you feel more toned or stronger, you're able to do more sit-ups, you're able to do more push-ups, you upped your weight, you're missing out on our smoking gun. And that's why you may be getting resistance of, well, I'm kind of following my gym's workouts. Like, you're just burning calories, which isn't wrong, but this is better. This is better. And it's just better. So those are my little tips for you guys. We have the chat. I don't know if anyone had posted any questions.
I don't think there are any questions. We were just kind of going back and forth. I'm sure they have questions, but first I want to say, I feel like this has been one of the best, like, motivational calls we've had in a really long time. And I think it's because you're passionate about the things that matter most. And sometimes we get so wrapped up in all the other things, when it starts with us loving our journey, getting results, and then being super excited about the women we're helping. And I am obsessed with the praise over promote. Like, you don't have to promote anything if you're praising your own results and the people that you're helping. That's promotion in itself. Like, you don't have to think about it. You don't have to be artsy. You don't have to be creative. You just praise the heck out of our programs and the people you're helping. So I love that. And then the other thing I wanted to mention that I love is getting in the space of creativity before you invite, and like getting yourself pumped the same way. Like, I drink Energize every single day before I work out. I listen to specific music depending on my mood every single day when I work out, and having that same mindset, like, okay, like, I'm about to invite, I need to get excited. Like, what do I need to do to get myself, like, what do I need to do to work today? Do I need to get dressed and fix my hair? Do I need to, like, play the certain music? That way, like, your inviting process is just as exciting as you get for your workout or whatever. So I love that. I'm obsessed. I've written so much down.
One thing I would recommend that me and my team did, and this was really fun, is that we made a pump up playlist for work.
I love that.
You guys should totally, like, everyone puts in, like, you make a post in your team page and say, what is that one song that just like we called it like your walk up song. Like, you know, in baseball, in softball, they pick their song. So what's your song?
Dance Monkey. No thought about that.
So everyone drops their walk-up song, and then you do it. And so love that. And same thing with social media. I know I didn't really talk about coaching much, but all of these tips, same thing. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I had this clarity moment, I want to say maybe last year, where I was like, I get so into my energized in the morning videos. Like, now I'm in TikTok, y'all. Oh my God. Right. And then when I'm doing work, I'm like sending emails.
So true.
Like, what is that? Like, such spectrum, right? So no, coaching doesn't look fun, but what we do is so much fun. I am a full-time Beachbody coach. I went full-time back in 2017. And like, I am not working 40 hours. I do not work all day. Like, it's so much, and I don't feel like I work hard, but it's because it's more of the hard work is passion and heart. Like, I call it heart work is this business when you get into it. It's not hard at all. It's not hard for me to want to post something inspirational, reach out to a couple clients. Hey, I haven't seen you, posting. Like, honestly, what's not on the success club tracker, I don't know if it is or not actually, but I added it, is that I message 3 clients every single day. I send them a voice memo every single day, and I pick 3. I use Streak, and that's just an easy way to kind of go through, and then I counter it with the tracker app to be like, okay, have they posted today or yesterday? And so then I can add that in the kind of message. And especially during this time, people are like, oh my gosh, I needed this kick in the ass. Because I leave it optional. The way I run my groups is I allow them whatever level of accountability and coaching they want, they pick. So if they want to send me a Sunday weekly email, they can. I don't require it. If they want to, I have one group, Slay Babe Gang, year long. So I don't do one for each month, and every way is different. However, Paige has told you, like, I don't want to step on toes, but for me, that was easier. And then to promote staying on product or trying new products, if they ordered at least $50 worth of products every 30 days, so staying active, then they received a weekly newsletter from me, which included fun recipes, a little bit like personal tips, stuff that's going on. Like, you just feel more like in my circle. It's like VIP. I literally call them my VIP babes. So I treat them that way, where they get to know me more. Because I truly believe with any if there's a transaction, stuff should, I got money, so what do they get? And so for people, it got so weird. Like, okay, when people don't want Shakeology, like, I don't want to force someone, and then what, do I kick them out of the group? Like, oh God, but they still have bod. Like, it's so weird. So that was my way to figure and solve that problem. So yeah. Any other questions or things? So yeah, make the playlist, the mindset, like, at the end of the day, your success, like, I think being, naive a little bit helped me. So you don't have to know everything. You don't need to be a diamond coach. You don't need to be a 15-star diamond. You don't need to be a diamond coach to be excited about what you do. If you are excited, you have the attitude, and you do the tracker every day. Like, I still do every day. I try telling you, I'm like, I am doing it. Like, I don't just sit back, but it's because I enjoy it. So if you haven't read the book, like Eat Your Frog, I love inviting. So I think it's just because I know what I'm inviting them to is fucking awesome. So I don't think it's weird, right? If you just ate at a bomb-ass restaurant, like the best, so good, you wouldn't like be like, when I go to Becca's house, should I tell her? Like, that might be weird. I don't know if she likes Italian food. Ugh, I'm stressed. No, you should be like, Becca, oh my God, you've got to try Geno's. Hands down the best. Go tonight. I'll go with you. Let's go now. You just would. So having that mindset, but it starts with the core, and then building that community so that you can invite with this just excitement and like no doubt in your mind, and you can like team up with other coaches on your team, like where you can feel like, if you're just like, I'm like super overwhelmed, I don't know, I encourage people teaming up with each other to run it. But don't overthink it. Schedule your posts that say do the things, blah blah blah, but then just run it as if it's a group chat. And I'll post pictures of my dogs. People love dogs, right? If I'm just outside, like I like to walk outside with bare feet and like grounding. If you're into that, it's good to touch the earth with your bare feet. So I'll take a picture. I'll do like a boomerang of my toes. I'm like, who's gone outside and grounded? And they like love it. Because again, anything that people are connected to you. So then anytime they go outside with their bare feet, they'll send me a picture like, oh my God, I grounded today like you. They're in. You got to get them in the nook. And so that's also a part of branding. And Slay Babe Gang, like, you don't have to have a fancy name and all of that, but you have to have something that people can be like I always tell people, it's like, if, it's usually stuff that people send you gifts a lot. Like if you're like, oh my gosh, I always get this, or someone's like, I saw this and thought of you. That's a brand. So when I first got started, I was into mermaids because I grew up in New York on Long Island at the beach. And I don't know, like blonde hair. Like I was just like, oh yeah, mermaids is my thing. That's my thing. That's going to be my brand. But then it got out of control and I wasn't even ready for it. I wasn't ready. You guys, girls were with, my dogs are crying, girls with tattoos and pink hair and blue hair were like, oh my God, mermaids. And I was like, oh my God, like, I don't like them that much. Like, I don't feel like I fit in your group. Like, I feel like false. I was like, oh my God. And then all my gifts were mermaid stuff. I had to be like, my family even jumped on it. And I was like, okay, guys, I've got to rebrand here because I can't do mermaids for the next 40 years. So Slay Babe Gang happened, right? And so your brand is going to change as your life changes. And so, and again, I didn't say slay a lot. I was just like, what could I do? And then just drilling it in people's head. I'm not at my old place. I have a new relationship. It's confusing. It's a confusing time. But in my old place, when I first started Slay Babe Gang, in my workout room, I had slay written behind me in like a wood lettering, DIY, all the stuff. So again, every time I worked out, people saw the slay. And now people, when they see memes or shirts, they send it to me and they remember. And so people like that. Yeah. So again, and my coaches are always like, oh, I don't have anything. Like, I didn't have anything. I was just like, let me just see how this goes. And you just kind of have to, but if you're going to do it, you got to, do it. I wear shirts that say slay. When I comment on people's stuff, I say slay. Like, I really went for it. But other things, just personality, quirkiness that allows your customers and coaches to be like, oh my gosh, that's so Jenevieve. Like, you just have to, like, one of my coaches, lipstick. She was like, I really like lipstick. And she's no Kylie Jenner, but now she wears it when she works out. And she didn't always used to, but she does it. And anytime she's on her story, she's got it popping, ready to go. And so people will come to her for like lipstick rec or just like, oh my gosh, I even do it. I'm like, before this, I was like, I'm wearing my lipstick for the call. And she was like, yes. And because she's branded herself that. Mm-hmm. Okay, any questions? I feel like I've been talking a lot. Well, I mean, that's the point, but you know what I mean.
Don't be shy. This is your chance.
It can be anything too. I don't know.
I was just wondering what your best tips for growing your team are.
Okay, yeah. So I have tried everything possible. Like, I've done Instagram sneak peeks, live Zooms, whatever. I have found that as far as recruitment goes, number one is look in your challenge groups for people that are showing up and love the product and programs. We know that is 100%. But for those people, they're probably the most hesitant because they see the most what you are doing. Does that make sense? So I run a crash course into coaching, which it's totally free, and it's 5 days, and I usually do it a Wednesday to Sunday. And what that entails is I'm going to treat them like a coach. So they'll get some people who are not customers are in it too, but they do a workout. The first day they do a workout, and then I give them an example. I go post on your social media and ask people if they like who's ready to start a healthy lifestyle. I give them an example, something super simple, like just did this boxing workout that kicked my butt, like just something that Sally from down the street would post, nothing too aggressive. And then the next day they get another workout, and I tell them, everyone who's liked or commented, you're going to send this message, and that message is on the lines of, hey Becca, thanks so much for liking my post, like that workout kicked my booty, hypothetically, if I were to set up a boot camp and get a few of us girls together, like, would you be down? And it's crazy how, depending on the person, obviously, like, no guaranteed results, but people are shocked when people are like, oh my God, I'd be so down. They're like, oh my God, I have a friend that's ready to go. And then there's sometimes people who that second, third day, they're ready to sell a challenge pack and they're like ready to go. And they believe they can do it because they were forced. Because at the end of the day, this business, like I said, is action based. Bottom line, you have to take action every day. And so forcing, encouraging, right, maybe is the better word, people to take action surprises them completely. And but also what I do, so on the welcome post, they put their IG handle. The biggest thing though is that they get that community separate from, so all of a sudden they come from already a bomb ass community, but then you open the gates of coaching. When they walk in, they better feel a difference. So then they're personally getting tagged on your sweaty selfies. What? Like, I don't do that for nobody, but I do that for them in that crash course, and I call it out. Day one of my crash course, shout out to my babes, slaying it, staying on brand. And they love it. They love it. They feel that sense of community, and we're dropping gifts all over the place. I'm following them. I'm commenting on their stuff. They feel so much love in that community. And then I have a coach every day go live on their coaching story and kind of talking about the fear associated with that action. So the fear about posting, I had a brand new coach, 2 months old, go live, tell her story, and talk about how she kind of got over that hump and that fear. Then when it's inviting, people are always like, well, I don't want to come off icky to my friends and family. How do you do that? So I have another coach go live, tell her story, and address that fear, because they're hearing the real people, and I have them do it at different times. So then we even did like a little happy hour one, a coach, so just different things. I gave them all a playlist to work out to, which I don't do. So I gave them our like coaching playlist that they can use for their workout. Like, this is our exclusive team workout playlist, and so they love it. Like, again, whatever sneak peek you run, when that door opens, the gates, the race starts, it has to feel different. And I think that's a big problem, or could be a problem for some sneak peeks that maybe you've run in the past or whatever, is that same old, okay, thanks for the info, right? So that's a 5-day crash course I do, and that's how I get people. Another thing is showing that I'm working every day. So you've got to attract, so if you work full time, obviously we're all kind of home, this is a weird time, but if you are working your business at 8 o'clock when your kids go to sleep, you need to attract other people that are working that would work their business at 8 o'clock when their kids go to sleep. That is a very big thing that I think coaches miss, is they don't want to seem, I don't know, but show how you set boundaries. Show how it's like, okay, hubby's off playing this. He's, checking his emails, talking with this guy, whatever guy stuff he's doing. I'm going to sit down. I set a timer for an hour and I knock out my work, because I think people think it's all, oh my God, like I get a lot, like, I just don't have time. I'm like, trust me, you do. It just, yeah, if you're trying to run a team of 300 people, yeah, maybe you don't have the time yet for that. But to help 3 people a month, you do. I promise you. So you've got to show that, because it's weird to invite to a sneak peek and people are like, I didn't even, you just dance around with your pre-workout. What the fuck do you do? Which used to be my problem. Like, you just dance in your room and work out. What type of business is this, right? So you want to attract serious people that want to start a business, then you've got to treat it and portray it like a business. So I'll do stuff like time to clock into work. So what are other things that people at work do, right? And I'll show, people love this and I love it too. So I'll do a picture of just like a notebook next to my computer. And then in Instagram, with the Instagram font, I'll write my like to-do list on there. And then when I sit, I'll be like, take a break, I'll go back to work and I'll cross off the stuff that I've done. People love that, because it seems like legit, which it is. Like, we're doing things, but it just looks like you dance around with your drink. doing bar moves. But it's not your fault, because I don't know why we're more comfortable sharing that, which is actually pretty silly, than showing that we help people and how we do it. So just explaining it every single day. And some of my coaches are like, oh, I show myself working every day. I go, yeah, you show yourself working out every day. What's the difference? So make that a priority. Other things that your team does, shouting people out, things like that, is kind of how I attract people. And it's having those conversations, because I think Kate Schultz says this a lot. I heard on a call, if you were to just put out on your social media, like, hey, I'm throwing a party on Friday, whoever wants to come, come, right? Like that's what you're doing to these sneak peeks. And you're afraid to personally invite. But if you were to send that invite, like, hey, Stephanie, I did you see on my story I posted about that party? It was just easier for me to like kind of blast it out. I would really love it if you come. You make the best margaritas, right? She'd be like, you know what? I do make the best. Okay, I'll come, right? So you've got to tell people why. Like otherwise it doesn't, like I really believe in getting to know people, because if I'm going to work, I don't just take anyone to work with me as a coach. Like I don't, and I used to just be like, anyone, come on, right? Like I want to make sure I get to know them beforehand. And so obviously if someone comes to me, it's like, oh, okay, well, hi, let's get to know each other. But if I am doing the work, then I'm spending time like, well, what do you like to do? Like, what's your vibe kind of stuff? And I'm just kind of getting to know them, so that it's making sure it's a right fit. And I'm letting them know, this is for us to both see if this is a good fit. I think that that's super important. So just the biggest thing with coach recruitment, whatever event you do, because Instagram events could work for one and could not work for the other. You could try a 5-day crash course and it could not work. So there is no end all be all. This is the event. It's the back end, right? It's that core. So it's that praise. It's that inspire someone at 8:00 after their kids go to bed to sit down and do some work because of these goals, right? But showing that every day. So I make it a priority, just like I dance around in the morning and work out, to show the work. And also same thing. So everything I said about the challenge groups on this call, take it for coaching. So like my coaches who just earned like $50 or $14, like I'm praising that journey, because then when homegirl starts making 100, 200, 300, they're like, wow, I always see that girl, page like on there. And now she's making more. Like people pay attention to that. And so not just praising the people who only bring on a coach and then only do this, but like are showing up and just doing it, just being there and giving it a try, so then it shows other people like, wow, I could do that. But if it's always like she recruited 3 coaches, like oh shit, they're fucking serious, which I want people who are serious. So I do that, but I'm showing the spectrum so that it isn't intimidating. Because I know already I'm intimidating, because people think, oh, if I'm not loud and dancing around, I can't do what you do. So I've got to be creative. That's why I think introverts honestly have it way easier. Because extroverts, I get this all, I can't be like you. Oh my God, I'm like, yes, you can. But I don't know, because I don't really know you that well. But, extroverts have it harder, because this came easy to me. And I'm sure you don't want to hear that like, oh shit. But it did. I was like, hell yeah, I would love to dance. I have my own little stage right here every day. If TikToks were around when I was in high school, I would be TikTok famous. Okay. Like I used to do that without this. So extroverts have it easier. If you're an introvert, if you're more shy and intimidated by all of this, I believe you have it easier. And so bottom line, you've got to preach every day. If I can do this, so can you. Here's why. Whether it's scheduling the busiest people, I think it's harder for me. I can project what can be, like what could happen if you work hard, but people don't want to work hard. So in the trenches is actually easier because you're sharing what you're working for. You're sharing those sacrifices that you're doing, and finding people who also want to come along with that. Yeah. I think
So good. So good. I love also that it's the same exact process for coaching. Do the things with coaching, you see success, then you're recruiting people and you're praising them and you're showing your success, you're showing their success. It's the same exact as a challenge group. Like that just makes it so simple to think of it like that way. So thank you so much. Seriously. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. Does anybody have any final questions, anything to say before we wrap it up?
Okay, I was just going to ask something else. I was going to ask the same question as Allie, so you like summed it up perfectly. But I was wondering, as far as like getting new people in your stories or like engaging with new people, like I've been trying to add more people recently, like on Facebook and on Instagram, and then like communicating with them and like just anything. But I'm just finding it like kind of, and it just keeps happening where I'm finding it kind of challenging to like I'll invite them, but I'm like feeling like I'm inviting to the same people over and over again, which is fine. Like sometimes they're coming back and they're going to do it, but I just want to try to get new, fresh faces and people watching my stories. Do you have any tips on that?
So what I tell my team and just anyone about it is, I know it's hard, but just like losing weight, don't focus on the numbers, right? If I try and look at my weight at all, I'm like, it almost like goes up and you're like, what the fuck is going on? But if I don't weigh myself at all, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so awesome. So same thing with this. And I know it's hard. It is. And so my biggest thing would say is lead with, like how can you serve, like your people who are already your followers are your biggest advocate because they've already like co-signed you, right? So one thing I tell my people who are at like you're stuck, you feel like I've plateaued, I don't know how to get over this ridge, is you've got to ask the people at your table what they want to see more of. Because if you're giving them exactly what they want to see and more, they are more likely to bring people to you, because you'll come up in conversation because you're not just, yeah, this girl that just, I don't know, like, another thing, number 2, is really look at your social media. And I always say, ask someone else to maybe look at it. You guys could pair up. If I were Sally from the street, would I be like, she's a Beachbody coach? So you've got to work hard to stand out and not look like another Beachbody coach. And I don't follow like any other coaches. I mean, I'm sure I actually follow some, but I'm not following them. Like, I don't know what's going on with the top 10 coaches right now. And I don't care, not in a negative, nasty way, but just in this. Otherwise, it's going to mess with my brain because I am not Amy Rada. Like, I also don't have twins. So why am I fucking looking at her stuff? Right? I think as an early coach, for sure, I had to get inspo and I had to pull. But then once you pass that 3-month mark, like you've got to push that away and focus on you, because then it becomes super original. My thing was like, I just want to be like Pinterest. Like I want to be that inspirational quote. I don't know if anyone remember on Pinterest, I was looking at my boards the other day and I had like pinned quotes, like just that made me like happy. Like we used to do that. Like why?
I still do that.
Yeah, like right? Like I'm like, what? So I want to be someone's Pinterest. Like, so my intention is like, not the numbers. My intention isn't to gain followers. My intention isn't to sell challenge packs. I want to make people smile, feel good, and inspire them to truly live their best life, like just to see the positive. And so those are my pillars for every post, every type of story. That's how I stay on brand with me. So if, I think that's, and I know that's not like a specific answer. So I would say, truly to answer it, ask your people what they want to see more of and expand it. It's not so much the, everyone's working out, like everyone's doing that stuff. So it's what's crazy, social media is actually easier now. And I know you're probably going to be like, what the fuck is she talking about? But again, you only have to do one post a day. So you're welcome. Thank God for that. And it's more about having visually, aesthetically. So you have to get a Lightroom mobile preset. That is the standard. I'm sorry. Pay $5, go on Etsy, find one, adjust it. Just do it. Stop fighting it. Right? You've got to buy a ring light. There's some that are like $30. You are starting a business. You've got to invest for good pictures because aesthetically, that is what people want. So my goal is I didn't want to look like another Beachbody coach with like sweaty selfie after sweaty selfie. I wanted to look more like a blogger, like that's just promoting stuff. So people had to kind of dig deep because if you're following someone and then if someone looks at your account, I want them to not write me off. Like when I see an account pop up on, right, I look and watch your habits when you try and go follow someone or when you stalk someone, right? I look and I visually just look, I skim their whole thing, right? And then there's certain posts that stick out to you that you start reading. And then your goal is to get them to, like, then it will pull me in and I want to go read more. And then all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, I've just like really read about everything she's ever said. Right? So you want that also. So if your posts are just like day 2, 8-day session, it's like, that's nice. That's cool. All right. I don't know. So it has to be telling stories. That would be my biggest thing. So ask your people what they want to see, provide value, think Pinterest. Like yesterday I did like this really yummy lasagna recipe. No one asked for it. I just was like, ooh, I should do this because maybe that makes people showing IGTVs, different things, doing posts with videos, anything that people can share, that people can take your face. Like it's kind of why we say aesthetically, because people want to be able to see their face in that picture, if that makes sense. So if it's like really like just bad lighting and so like it's kind of like, I don't know if that makes sense. It used to be that was fit. You had to show sweaty selfies. Like it had to be super real. Otherwise you were fake. But now it's more of that blogger-esque. So I would say very aesthetic because think about it. And then I would ask yourself these things of like, imagine if every person that you wanted to follow you, they would say, why? So is your name Erin? Erin, why should I follow you on social media? And that goes for everyone. You don't have to answer that. That's like super intense.
I was like, do you want me to say it out loud?
But, really think about that. And so when I switched to that, because being a Beachbody coach doesn't automatically qualify you to get followers. And that's a mistake that every coach says. Why can't I get followers? Like, I'm a coach. Like, all right, so is like 400,000 other people. Next. So you can't just say, oh, I work out every day. Like, okay, but are you giving workout moves that people could do? Are you showing it in some order that people could try? Like, it has to be more than just like, well, like, just follow me, So I'm a wife and a mom. Like, okay, nothing exciting there. Like, so a lot of people, you have to have an edge on it. So I would say practice that, like your 10-second elevator speech. Like, imagine if people were like, well, why should I follow you? Oh shit, I don't know. So what I would say is like, first of all, I am super bright, positive. I like look for deals on workout clothes. I don't really shop at Lululemon. And I like love dance parties and music and different things. I do weekly workouts. I try all different beauty stuff and give tutorials. Like I got my eyelashes lifted and tinted the other month and I did a whole video on that experience because I was like, I've never done this. So, things like that I'll try that aren't Beachbody. So I'll show people like I am part of Fabletics. So like on the 5th, I'll be like, yo, Fabletics friends, either skip or buy. Today's the last day. You don't want to ring up those credits. And so many people are like, oh my God, I'm so glad you did that. How many of y'all have had that? You're like, shit, I forgot again. So just different things I would say, but just serve the people that are there and they'll do the work. Simple things, tag your location, but it has to just be, and then really just zone in on who you're talking to. If you're talking to everyone, then you're talking to nobody. So like if I'm attracting like moms of 4, unless they want to like live vicariously through my young life, you know what I mean? Like I'm doing something wrong, I guess, like I want, well, not wrong, but I really have to talk to your people in the life that stage that I think now more than ever, right now is a weird time to post. I'm finding like, I don't know what to say, like same thing, nothing's changed. Like, and so that's been hard, I will be honest, but it's more about just being relatable. Like funny stuff, super relatable, get in with the trends, talk about the shows you're watching, get stuff on there. TikToks are big. So yeah, that would be my biggest advice, of just forget about the numbers and think, how can I just give content, really tell stories that makes people want to read more, want to watch more, and feel like they have to see what happens next, right?
Cool.
That's what makes us watch a movie, right? Like I gotta know what happens.
I'll probably have to talk to you about it later, but I kind of have like a weird, like, I don't know, my whole follower group is really interesting because I'm also a blogger and I'm a teacher. And so like I have all these different things, and a lot of them followed me at the beginning, like when I was like doing my blogging stuff, and like I do a lot of fashion posts and things like that. And I love that. But then I started like transitioning into Beachbody. And so I've been trying to figure out, like, I still love all that same stuff, but I'm trying to figure out like how to put that in. And then I feel like I have the same people that are watching my stories all the time. So like, even though I have like a lot of followers, those people like aren't really following me anymore, or aren't like even, I don't know, they're not like messaging me, or they're not liking things or whatever. They're just there.
You can also like giveaways.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done one in a long time. That's how I built my following, is a lot of giveaways. I just can't compete with all the giveaways that are out right now. Like people are doing like $6,000 giveaways. I'm like, what?
Yes, it's insane.
Is that? So like no one wants to sign up for my like sports bra from Amazon, because that's what I did in 2016. And that was exciting. I would say just you've got to tie it all in together. So you could do, if you're still writing your blog, just on my last week's blog post, I talked about mindset, and I wanted to kind of dive deeper in here, or something like that. You could tie it in. I think the majority of my sales and attraction comes from, again, IG stories changed the game. I think like it doesn't really matter what you post on your newsfeed, as long as it looks good content wise. Like it has to just look good. But I feel like I get people on IG stories when people can watch, and like your highlights. And again, it's so hard to say, because someone could have like a lot of engagement and you're like, why? I don't get it. I'm not seeing it. So just trying different things. I think consistency too. I've tried to, like I have a pattern now where I'm doing videos so like something that people can expect or get excited about. I'm not the biggest social media guru, but I don't focus on the number. It fluctuates so much. Engagement is crazy because we can't keep up with the algorithm. But I will say I spend a lot of time chatting with the people that follow me, because the point of social media is social. And so if you expect all these followers and aren't chatting with people and like liking and commenting on their stuff, like it doesn't ring back. So I do 2 different times where I'm just sitting there. I'll go to like my followers list and I'll engage with people. I'll like type in J or L. It's super random. I don't like, there's no method, because that would drive me crazy if I try to. And so ideally it's like, if I'm serving, that'll get me on, and it'll all come full around. I don't know. I don't know specifically. It's hard to say, but I have a lot of teachers. I think that the teaching brand is hard. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I feel like unless you're like an elementary teacher, like a lot of them are like elementary teachers with like cute stuff everywhere, and it's like and like super bright and vibrant, and I'm like, I'm a middle school, high school teacher, and like I teach orchestra, so like it's like very different than like a normal like teacher, so
Yeah, and I actually have band people, and I feel but I will say with your community, everyone's super close with all those like competition things, right? So I think I don't think everyone has their own opinion, but sometimes I'm like, why even really talk about it? I don't know. Unless it's something you really like want to talk about. I don't, unless you pick one day where she's a flutist and she does like flutist Wednesdays and she does like a little lesson on her thing. But I just wouldn't want, if it was me, if I like it, I don't play the flute, so I wouldn't be like attracted. So you don't want to like close yourself off, but that's also an opportunity to get super specific. I don't know. I think it really just storytelling. If I were to say anything, do professional development. So some people say like, oh yes, personal development, like mindset, Rachel Hollis, kick ass. But professional development would be become a storyteller, how to lead a team, how to talk to people, right? How to all those things. So I talk to my team a lot about both. So I would say just getting good with stories so you can get people wrapped in, so that they're tagging people. Oh my God, look at Erin. This is so good. It touched me today. Yeah.
awesome. Thank you so much. Sorry for like taking your time. It was a long time.
But it's okay. Any other questions quick? I know that was kind of long. We're good.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I have the recording if you want it. I can send it to you. And then girls, of course, I'll have it in our team page. Everybody, thank you so much for coming. It's really awesome to have team calls at 2 p.m. in the middle of the week. So thank you so much, and I'll see everybody later.
Bye.